Welcome to the Pits Podcast. This is a safe space for you, but not your mess. We will keep it respectful, but we are also with the shit. I am Jay.
Miss Phoenix. KD.
Q.
And it's your girl EK, and you are now entering the pit.
Disclosure, this is not water, this is alcohol, so things could go left. What are we talking about today, Q?
We are talking about our perspectives of being black in the community. Fuck that shit. I want to talk about Meghan Markle and the motherfucking royal family, those ugly cousin fucking ass motherfuckers. I'm sorry. And that's probably cussing too much. Let me state that again. I want to talk about Meghan Markle and them wrong, old, evil, incestuous people across the pond.
Not incestuous.
Oh,
So,
across the pond.
Y'all-
19 people for me.
Why all the old white men look like old decrepit vampires? But that's just me, I guess.
Because Prince Philip, that's a corpse. You can't tell me that ain't
Dead at night. Fully dead
Don't
at
he look
night.
like he about to perish?
That part.
No.
10 toes down in the grave. 10 toes down. I mean, I have two sides to this. I mean, I understand where Meghan is coming from and how she is now addressing her blackness. And now she was, all the things and all of the things. But I also think about Meghan prior to. And Meghan was always biracial, honey. It was very clear. She always made that fact very, very, very known. But was gagged when those English folk didn't give a fuck about that other 50%. They cared about that 150%, if that was an issue. And I think she was really gagged by that. I also find it interesting how you date a prince and how Diana was like so much for even American culture. And you do no research, girl? Now I'm finna marry a prince and don't know nothing about what is going on the inner workings of his family. So I'm like,
Marry his son.
girl, you knew what was going on. You just had a fairy tale in your mind, but with them people over there in the press start letting you have it, you wasn't ready for that, girl, because you thought it was passing enough. The gag is, it was not. And then she was bamboozled. I mean, I am here for Harry standing by his woman. I don't know what kind of good she got going on over there, but that man said, if my whole family, if all this, girl, we can move to Canada, we can move to the US. He is ride or die for her. He really loves her.
It's the WAP.
I'm gonna need her to remember that for the rest of her days.
Oh,
Not that he would ever be king. But at least he could still be getting the damn allowance, honey, because I don't know how much money Diana left him, but I don't know if it's enough to support their lifestyle for the rest of their lives and their children.
I mean, the way it's looking, ain't nobody finna be king because the queen look like she gonna live forever because her son been waiting on her to die for the last 80-some years, and she's still here. His daddy is still alive, that walking corpse, that skeleton. I don't know what's going on over there, but they just refuse to die and let that man have the throne. Which I can't blame them. I'll live forever too. If that was what was waiting.
Do you guys think it was fair for Prince Harry to have to walk away from his royal family?
I don't know if I would say it's fair, but that's a choice he made.
That's true.
He could
I
have
don't think I would have
her.
made the same choice, but I felt like she knew what she was getting into before they got married. So it's just like, don't tell me to like walk away from all of this when this is the life I had before you came. Like, I know how sometimes when you walk in people's lives, you are a part of their lives, not their lives. So he was already a prince before you met him.
Right.
And that's a lot to walk away from.
But the gag is he already wanted to leave anyway. And part of me feel like she probably knew these things. Like he don't really, I know if I say such and such, he gonna come with me. I know that for a fact. I feel like she knew that, even though she's like, I ain't know nothing about him. I was just dating a boy. Girl, people be Googling on Facebook about regular ass niggas. So I know if you dating the prince and you told your homegirls, I know everybody is like,
Period.
That was the first conversation. I'm dating a prince.
you gonna tell me Serena ain't had nothing to say? Serena be over there in Wimbledon and all the things, hitting all the balls.
And she
Serena
was at
ain't
the
have no
wedding too.
insight.
She was at the wedding.
See, it's just
Beyonce,
hard for me to get into the topic. Like, your biggest issue in your life is that you don't want to be a prince no more. Like, it's just, I'm
Must
trying,
be nice.
and it's just like,
it's too fairy tale for you.
it is. You don't want to be a prince. Like, that's your biggest problem is you don't want to be a prince and you don't want to walk away from your
And,
royal family, or you are walking away from your royal family.
and people
But
still
when
in
you
Texas
was
without
in the
lights and water.
he had multiple jobs. He was in the military. He was
He
doing so
was.
many different things. So it wasn't like you just was required to do this royal family things. Like, you've been stepping out and doing all these other things. So, like,
I
Yeah.
think he been outcast really, but Meghan was really the push for the media over there to be like, okay, we're completely done with Harry at this point. I mean, I feel like they've probably been tired of him coming over here frolicking in California, having multiple orgies with multiple people and all of the things. They've been tired.
but you know, when you're at that high of a status, like, certain things you just come with the position, and that you just have to prepare yourself for. Like,
Right.
that. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I'm trying to have sympathy.
You don't
But
care.
like, you don't want to be a prince.
And have no sympathy.
She don't care.
And Megan been had money, so like, her people been had money, so it's like, where is the struggle? I'm finding it hard to make it relatable to me.
Meghan people got money?
They had money. She had money before him,
Did she?
from what I've read in a few articles.
Word. Because I remember a couple of her jobs that I just feel like she probably wasn't making that much money opening in a suitcase and sewing them dollar signs. I just feel like that job wasn't that
But
much
it was
money.
enough for her to sustain as a successful biracial. I was gonna say black biracial woman. It was
If she
enough.
would have kept acting. You think she's gonna go back to acting now?
Who told her to quit her job because she got married?
Because what she thought was she was in,
Yeah,
she
part.
thought she was good for the rest of her life. She thought she was good until the firm and whatever the fuck else they got going on over there in the
Well,
monarchy got her ass together.
her mama is that black
Right
50%,
on.
and if her mama ain't never tell her you gotta have your own, regardless of who you with, then I don't know what,
That part.
you know. You always gotta have
That part.
no matter what. You
Our
can't
mama
lose
did
yourself
tell
at
us
someone else.
that. Come on, it's a word.
I don't know.
Y'all listen, it is a word. I don't give a damn who you are with. Have your own coins.
Period.
Have to.
Because something could happen tomorrow. And then
I
where you
mean-
gonna stay? Where you gonna sleep? What you gonna drive? What you gonna eat? The friends you didn't cut off, your real friends,
Okay.
they're gonna come let you stay with them. Your rich friends, girl, them his friends. Them ain't your friends, girl. They just accepted you because you was with him.
And regardless if he promised you security, sis, you still
Have yours.
have your own.
Unless your name is
Even
on
if he's giving it to
documents.
you, take what he giving you, put it in your own little checking account, saving account to the side, do what you need to do, put it in your mattress like your grandma used to do if you need to. You gotta have your own.
I cut open the California King.
Because clearly, in this situation, you never know when you're gonna need money, and if you don't need it, you never know when your kids gonna need money. Because clearly, Princess Diana is still not here, but she left money because she knew
What was
that
gonna happen?
Harry was gonna want to leave,
She knew it.
and so she left money. So the whole object of this thing is protect yourself, protect your neck, protect your kids' neck, your family's neck. Have
What's
that money.
gagging me a little bit is why Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry know them like that? To offer for them to live in his house and have his security? I mean, like, that seems so. Right now, reach out to Beyonce. Y'all know her and Jay-Z. They have multiple homes. Or they might have just been like, well, girl, y'all can't stay here. like, like, why Tyler?
My
It just-
thing is, y'all could have
That
been
seems
too broke.
odd.
Y'all just need to readjust your means. Like, I don't know why rich people like hit a hard spot and they feel like they can't readjust their means. Okay, you can't afford your lifestyle. Readjust your means until you.
What hard spot? They are
Andre-
left no less than $30 million when she died. And over this time,
Right.
this man is what, in his 30s?
Right.
That money has accumulated and multiplied. It's way more
Right.
than 30 million. he ain't living beyond his means. He has the fucking money.
I'm trying to find the struggle though. I'm trying to find the
It ain't
struggle.
for us. It's not a struggle. For
For
them,
us, it's
it's like,
not.
oh,
Right.
my family is racist and they pushed us out. Of course, like your family colonized 90% of the world. What are you surprised about?
Okay.
Poor
But she
me.
didn't Google it. She didn't Google it. She didn't. She didn't Google it. Q. She didn't Google it.
What are you
Now I have to
talking
live a
about?
fat, lonely life with my millions of dollars.
I ain't gonna give her that credit and say she ain't researching because we talking about the same little girl. Did y'all see like her little commercial or whatever? She wrote it was a commercial that they showed at her school. It was a soap commercial and it said women are fighting suds or fighting something about dishes. She was intelligent enough at her younger age to write the creator of this commercial and say, hey, I think that's sexist because boys in my class are teasing me saying that that's where a woman should be in the kitchen anyways. You can't tell me a little girl that intelligent has grown up and has lost all her resources.
Yeah.
It ain't added up. I'm still trying to find the struggle.
I mean, did y'all hear about, not the segue off her, did y'all hear about the situation with Andre Leon Talley? Do y'all know who that is?
Yeah.
I know who that is, but I ain't hear about the situation.
Yeah.
The dude,
I heard about it.
the black guy that was on America's Next Top Model, the fashion dude.
Yes, yes,
He used to
yes.
wear the, not a dashiki, but it looked like a dashiki, the little cakes or whatever.
House coat.
That, yes. He
Mhm.
has fallen on hard times as well. He was the editor at Vogue for like 30 years. Let me just put that into the space. The editor at Vogue for like 30 some odd years. So apparently his house at this point is like he's about to be evicted from his home.
Why is your
And
home not paid off if you had all this money all these years?
let's get to it. Apparently, this is not the first. He's found bankruptcy like 4 or 5
Oh yeah,
times, I
I
think.
remember.
The gag is the first time he was coming into issues with his home, I guess he reached out to some of his fashion friends, like his like fashion house friends, and apparently he says they bought the home with their money and then he was going to pay them back like a lease to own type situation. Well,
They
now
must be
those
mad
people
at
are
him.
saying,
Because I know they went under us. Continue. I'm
okay. So apparently they're saying he ain't been making his payments. He's saying he already paid them all the things. But I'm like, well, if you paid them all the things, then this is not an issue. Just show that you
Right.
paid all the things, and then this is your house. So obviously that did not work out for him. So now he's trying to like countersue and all these things. But I'm like, UE, were you making money at all, which has now come under debate, or were you just taking favors from white people? You're at the front row of fashion shows as a favor. That's not a job. You just at the front row, and now you writing about them in Vogue. Part of me is like, there's no way that Vogue wasn't paying you coins. There's just no possible way, unless you got the position as a favor. So people are like, well, he spent his whole life just getting favors from white people, and now those white people have run out of favors to give him, and now he has nothing to fall back on. Granted, this man is like, what, 60, 70, health issues, health failing.
But again, where is the struggle? I can't sympathize with poor money men. They have more money than me. Like, help me understand how. Like,
Come on.
I really get what you're saying.
Right.
Just like for him.
I just feel
Just
like
like
I feel like if I was rich, I just wouldn't. I say that as not being a rich person. I just feel like if I was rich, the way I live now is below my means now, right? So I feel like if I came into a greater situation, my mindset would be, well, bitch, I got to get old, God willing. I would like to just live out the rest of my life and not have to be worried about why are you still paying your mortgage in your 70s?
right.
I mean,
And you were the editor in chief at Vogue. You should have been paying for your house in cash. This is the thing that get me with some rappers, and they be like, Oh, my house, this many bedrooms. But girl, did you buy it or can the bank put you out?
The
Because
bank.
these are two different things. Do you own your home or can somebody come in and say, you didn't pay last month's rent? You need to leave. That be
Like,
confusing me. So I'm with E with the financial responsibility. I'm like,
right.
That's why I'm
baby.
Even the
struggling with the Meghan
person.
Markle thing. I just, I'm all for, black girl power, and we got
Yeah.
a connection in with the royal family and all of that. But when it come down to it, like
I
I'm
mean,
struggling to find the
I
struggle.
we
mean,
can
I
understand
sympathize
her.
with her when she was talking about like her mental issues and like depression, because that stuff is real. Like
Mm,
I sympathize with that side of
right.
it.
suicide.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
But when it comes to, you got to know what you knew. She had to know what she was walking into. Like I feel like she feel like she can go in there and she can change it, or she could be like this person and try to do these things, and it was a harder task at hand. So then she really kind of saw the real side of it.
I don't even think she thought she could have changed it. I thought she went in thinking she was one of them because she
How?
married
For
him.
sure. Just like they were gonna accept me just because. It's just like
I don't think so.
And once them folks told her, well, your son is he don't get no title, girl. That's when I feel like shit hit the fan. Cause she thought she had set her family up. And I don't blame her for that. Girl, go over there and take them folks money, girl, and fuck up that bloodline,
Hey, can I
girl.
say
I'm here
something?
for it. I'm here for it. But that didn't go as
Everybody is
planned.
saying, "Oh, they made sure to say the queen was nice. She was all good." Okay, but
They
if you the
did.
head of the monarchy, if you mean to tell me that they telling your grandson that, oh, your child is not going to have a title because you married this biracial woman, you as the head of the monarchy, shouldn't you have the power to override everyone as the queen and say, no?
Do any of them
Like,
hoes have power though? Or is the media control the rest of the country feel like the royals? Do them
I feel
hoes
like
really
she's
have
controlling
power?
the family.
Or are them hoes the equivalent of Paris Hilton? Like, which one is it?
I
that's a
feel
good
like
question.
overall they are equivalent to Paris Hilton, a figurehead. But in
Right.
that family, within that figurehead, I feel like the queen is the head.
She has control.
Yes.
I agree.
So as far as that title and the way that they are treating the grandson, his wife, and the great grandson, and about to be the great granddaughter, the queen can override that shit in the family. She can say, everybody pull together. We finna have a family meeting. If you don't want to come, if you don't want to do right, then I'm stripping you of your fucking title. She has the power to do that as the queen.
I think it would be different if Meghan had married William.
Why
Ew.
so? Yeah.
Because
First of all,
he is going to be the king. But yes,
Yeah,
he's ugly and all that, but he is
yeah.
going to be king.
They
So
would
if
have
she
had
had,
to accept her.
or he would not have married her at all because he knew it would have been a problem because he wants to be king. See, that's the thing. William wants to be king. She married somebody, yes, he's the brother of, but Henry was never going to be king. Ever. Unless William died and all his children.
But you
He
guys
would
know,
never
like
be king.
traditionally back in the day, people only married like based off maintaining your wealth.
People
Mm,
still do
So to
that.
marry for
yeah.
love back in the day was kind of like a stupid thing to do. People don't use
Right.
marriage as a thing of love. So I mean that could be a reason, they're having such issues because I believe if he truly married her and gave up his rights, meaning Harry actually loved her.
Oh, he
So
loves her, yeah.
that's what they married for. They married for
Yeah.
love instead of like the traditional,
Not
okay, this is for
status.
wealth and passing the wealth and all this stuff.
But the gag is, Kate was nobody prior.
Right.
So what's the difference?
And she was happy.
There's only one difference. Kate was nobody prior.
And happy.
but she became 100%.
Nobody.
She was 100% and not 50.
That is the gag. It was 100% and not 50. Somebody said something really funny. Kind of the same vibe you on, E. I forgot who said it. Maybe it was Funky Daniva. But it was like, it was real hard watching Oprah sit up here and talk to this white woman at Jace. Like it was just real hard because
She don't
Were
have
you
the same
No.
struggles as an everyday black woman. I mean, I
were
just
you black before or after they kicked you out? That's the gag.
Hmm.
But my only
Right.
hope for her is the fact that I've seen her mother, and I know that her mother is a brown-skinned black woman. Like, you cannot deny it when you see her mama.
But we don't know her teachings though. Just because she looked like that,
Exactly.
we don't know her. She
Exactly.
might have been putting her child in private schools, piano
I
lessons
mean,
with the
ain't nothing
white
wrong with the
folks.
private
It
school
is.
because the way
Nothing.
education is going, I'm all for if you got to put them in private school, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the educational system is shoot, especially public education.
Fair.
That's a
I
different
just
conversation.
feel like she could have been put in a position to
I mean, moms could
further
have been
her
like, "Girl, what
opportunities
you
in
think?"
life. Right. To further her opportunities in life, she could have been put in a certain position early on. So maybe all she's ever known was that life. And then once that changed, her life is unraveling.
I don't
But you know,
know.
that's what all the I was gonna say something very I'm so glad that didn't come out of my mouth. You know what all the other 50%ers do. Like, you
It's
know what
the
I'm saying?
ring for me. It's the diamonds for me.
No, let me say this.
Flash across the screen.
You know what all the other like 50%ers do? It's like when they're growing up, they identify with their more Caucasian and European side. But then when it comes to them being older and they start getting these struggles and having these hardships, now it's like, oh, I want to identify with my black side. Let me try to identify and connect with them through struggle. Why does it
And
have to
nothing's wrong with that. Well,
but why
not
does it have to
connecting
be
with them through
through
struggle. I was
struggle?
gonna say not connecting with them through struggle, but trying to connect. Nothing's wrong with that part because
Or when something happens, it's like, oh, but I'm a black woman. It's like, but
right,
when did you
right.
start
You
identifying
know,
or claiming
If
I
that?
you
feel
could,
like
let me ask you this question. Let me ask everybody this question. I want to see what everybody got to say. If you were born passing now, and we all know what I mean by passing. Over here, honey, not over here. So if you were all born passing and your early opaque, translucent. If you were all
I'm following,
born
but I'm trying to figure out
if
what
you
you
were
what
all
you're
born
saying.
if you were all born into that environment, and then your early formative years you spent your life like on the cusp, so you could easily fit in with other passing folks and what other white folks. You could do both. And you were raised in an environment that was surrounded by white folk. Now, this is to say that you don't have two parents that know very well what you are and who they are. Like, your white parent is very aware of black issues, and then your black parent is very like, hey, you look like this when you will be treated like this in these certain situations. Let's put that to the side. So let's say you go to college, you get in the real world, and your whole life you've been kind of living over here on this passing side, right? So some shit happens to you outside of the protection of your parents or your household, and now you're figuring out for the first time in the world, oh shit, that other 50%.
We speaking about
that's
me,
one
or
thing.
you
What are you,
trying to give us a different
No,
perspective?
what would y'all do? How would you cope with that in the world? I mean, it's hard to imagine with us all being brown and dark skinned. We've never been in that position. But position yourself being born passing enough so you were afforded certain opportunities very early on because you were passing. And then this really opportunity that you wanted really, really bad, the person's basically like, no, because you're black. But your whole life you've been like getting the opportunities because you're so passing.
But I feel like that privilege should be checked at a younger age. And I feel like when you're younger, that puts the responsibility on the parents to say, like, hey, I know this is
Mm.
what you are. I know that this is what you relate to. This is who you hang around. But hey, let's
Mm-hmm.
have a real talk. It's like the conversation we have to have with our young black men and black girls. Like when you get in the
Mm-hmm.
real world, this is what it is. So I feel like just because you're 50%, it doesn't you don't get a pass for not having that conversation. And
Right.
still check that privilege very early on. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Kids can be assholes.
Absolutely.
We all know that because we have all been kids. We've all been through that period. And so you cannot tell me that Meghan Markle did not go to school and it was a kid in her class that said, your milk isn't clean, or, oh, you half breed. Oh, you a mulatto.
The hair, because you know she had the thick black
Yeah.
curly hair. Like she clearly stood out.
Yes. Because you're half black. You can't tell that the class in school was not an asshole because it's
And when my
always
mama
that
came
one kid.
up from school, like, oh, that's your mama.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kim,
you have to be aware.
As for me, if that was me and I was 50-50, I would want to, try to reach out to my black side as far as, because they say if you're half and half, then you are what? You are black.
You have to
so for me, I would reach out, and try to
but
get
would
to
you already
my
know
black
that
side
though?
More.
Would you feel that way though if you had not been told that your entire life? You know what I'm saying? What if nobody ever told you, hey, when you go out in the world, that 50% means you're all black to really everybody else. But for you, you identify as being both. But the world will see you that. What if you never got that lesson?
Well, if that would just be a lesson learned for me, if I go out there into the world and they say, hey, you are not this, you are black, you are not the 50 as you were brought up to be. That would be my thing. That would be a lesson to me to say, hey, well, I am black, even though I am, I do have that white side in me. So it's just like it's basically a learning lesson if you did not learn that growing up. And as for me, I do have cousins that are mixed, and they had to learn the hard way,
right?
When they was coming up. So it was just like, but them having a father figure in their lives that was black and their mothers were white, they had to learn from their dad that, look, this is what's gonna happen to you because this is how I grew up. I'm gonna show you the right way because you're gonna be judged because you look like you're white, but guess what? You are black.
Right.
So it's just like it's basically a learning lesson.
So teaching
that would have to be
right.
taught.
And
I was just gonna
looked it up.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad, E. But I just looked it up, and her mama was a social worker, so I know for a fact, like
she was taught these lessons.
They had these talks. They had to.
And I was gonna say it depends on which parent is the 50% as well. Because,
right.
Very much so.
And how present is that 50% parent? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely.
But we see it though, like because
her mama.
Look at with the wedding, she had her Black Baptist church members to go to her wedding and sing in the church. The media had a problem with that.
They did.
But you can tell that this woman, she knows that she has a black background, and like you said, to the parents' credit, that mama being black, or if that mama is white, I hate to say it.
Say it.
Difference. That makes a lot of difference.
Read them.
And so just the simple fact that this girl, this young woman took her Baptist church over to England to sing in her wedding was a big deal to me. It showed that, hey, I know I'm black. I know where I'm come from.
Right.
So, hey, you're gonna have to deal with it.
So basically what you're saying is she was pissing them folks off from the beginning.
Oh yeah, I would have too.
When you think about it though, that's like black women in the workforce anyways. Like we have so many things against us, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that it was just, I guess that's why it's so hard for me to relate to it or understand her struggle, is because if you identified as black before then, ain't no way this is your first situation to where you have had that racist interaction.
So why you so shook?
Yeah, like why? Like what? I don't understand.
I think it's the privilege that comes along with being a royal. I think it's the son not having the title for me. Because now they just living out here like, common folk.
What's wrong
Granted,
with
I feel
nothing's wrong with that, but that's not the vision she had.
But I feel like she had she knew beforehand like if that were to happen, if we were to have kids, he probably wouldn't get that title or gain that title over there
I
due
think
to
that
that
shook
fact.
her.
Because
I
I don't
think
think he just grew up and was just totally
because that's the
oblivious to what would have happened.
And why
If
are
he
you
went-
arguing about a title from a racist family? Like, I probably wouldn't want no connection to
Right.
him anyway. So what's the big? See, that's where it's the disconnect. It's like we know they're racist, but you're fighting for your title to be connected to this family. Like,
I
if
mean, brown skinned people get in relationships with white folks all the time for the bag or the coin, and that person can be in the bedroom calling them all the N words while they slapping them around and penetrating their holes, but they'll deal with it because of the bag. People do
you
that
relate.
all the
Let me tell you something.
people do that all the time. That is nothing new. It's like I'll sacrifice a little dignity for the everlasting bag. People do that all the time. And you have to admit of the idea of being a royal and having your children be royal is kind of like a very much Cinderella princess type gigorama that she had to have envisioned for herself. And number one, it's the first time, to my knowledge, in history that they've ever been like, oh, we don't have enough money for your child to have the title. Which not the first time ever. Just so happened y'all don't have the money for my child to have a title. Oh, it's this over here. Got it. That probably shook her and him. Honestly, truly.
And honestly, I don't know why I shook her, because if I was her, I'd still be in Buckingham Palace raising hell in that motherfucker. I don't care. You ain't gonna give my son a title, but guess what? I'm gonna pop up at every event, every family meeting. You gonna see me, new outfit.
Every barbecue we playing WAP. We listening to Megan Thee
I
Stallion.
was just gonna say,
I'm
Chloe,
inviting Serena.
don't be playing every time I walk through the goddamn doors. Every time I step through the doors.
Right.
Mm-mm.
But
all of
is
that.
she, that come from that other 50% side that she.
See, that's what I'm
probably
saying.
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
It could be Tim McGraw and Carrie Underwood. We don't know. we don't know what the vibes are. I mean, if I look at like it me personally, as far as like the black community, I didn't necessarily always fit in with the community that was around me at the time of the individuals that were black. Because I went to a school where everybody was white. And it was like four black people, literally no exaggeration, four in my class. And I dressed, well, I guess like in high school, I dressed like the white people because I hit a phase where I was like, well, I'm not wearing Jabot anymore. I'm not wearing South Pole anymore. American Express was popping at the
So you
time.
was more preppy, not the white people, because
Right. I was more preppy than my fellow brethren. Let's just put it that way. And they treated me as such. They treated me as such throughout my entire high school, elementary. I always befriended white kids more. So I kind of had this thing in my head where I would always want to hang out with the white kids outside of school. I would like even sometimes imagine a world where I would receive the same privilege as white kids. And I remember my daddy wanted to take me out of the school because he noticed the change, obviously. He was like, okay, he is not just friends with these kids. He's starting to develop like he wants to be one of these kids. So my daddy had a talk with me, yada 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 yada. I ended up staying at the school because I was like, I'm not going to no brand new school, 10th grade year with like a completely different environment than I'm used to. I'm not doing that. I'm graduating with the people that I know, even though you feel the way you feel about them. So I did that. And it really wasn't until college, really junior college, where I started hanging out with more black people. But then also I saw a lot of true colors of those white people once we didn't have to be in class together 8 hours a day. Once it was a choice to be friends,
Mm-hmm. The cold shoulder, the no speak.
And I came out. Then I came out. All them hoes disappeared. Okay, all of them hoes. But luckily, I had my group of little, my black friends. Da, 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 da. And then I was like, oh, this feels better. This feels more natural. I'm not longing to really be somebody, be in a certain environment. This feels more natural. But I was in college. That is a long time where I feel like many people, probably all of y'all, if not most, grew up in an environment very different. So out the gate, you felt really comfortable in your skin and in your environment. It took a long time for me to feel comfortable in my skin because there was so much going on in my head. The wanting to be like the white boys, the being gay, and all that extra shit that comes along with that. So it was difficult. Not saying it has anything to do with Meghan. I'm just saying sometimes the community can be very, very not
Judgmental.
accepting of you unless you are just like them.
Just say it, judgmental. We
Very
can be very
judgmental.
judgmental as
Very
a community.
judgmental. So sometimes it's easier to just, I would feel like for someone like that, it may be easier in some situations to skate to your whiteness versus than to skate to your blackness because the black people are probably already like, or possibly like, here come this bitch with the fair skin. Here come this bitch with the naturally straight hair down her back.
But I feel like that starts at home too, because I didn't like I feel like Clinton was a very mixed community. But me growing up, my grandmother spoke those things into me and spoke about being black and spoke like at a very young age.
See,
So
I
I
have
feel
all
like,
that.
this what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it kind of goes into what you exposed to as a young child in your home as well, because you start your first learning at home. You don't start your first learning at school and out in the community. I feel like it
Right.
has to be a shift in the culture of like, what are we exposing our kids to? What are we teaching our kids about themselves?
Right. Right. Because that could have went very left for me.
Mhm.
I could have been the dude with the blue contacts that was pro Trump, bitch. I could have been him with the spiky hair and a swoop. Like I could,
Okay. Okay.
that could have been. I'm just saying, but I do agree. It starts early, and people really. I would say people, not just biracial kids, black kids too. If you grow up in an area and you notice as the parent that their environment is either very diverse or very one-sided, it's up to the teachers in that child's life. And when I say teacher, I mean their parents, their grandparents, their uncles, their aunties, to be very realistic with those children. Because it's very easy to grow up and be like, well, Corey gets to do whatever, and we got the same damn grades, and we basically the same except for our skin. So why does Corey get to be homecoming king and I mean? It
I
can
feel
be
like if
very
you address
that.
it sooner on, like speaking. So I believe in like being proactive instead of reactive. It's like building them up, like we do with the boys here. Like you are intelligent, you are smart, you are a king. Like, I'm saying, just building up their self-esteem and telling them these things about themselves. Like MJ say, like, why am I lighter and my brother's darker? And it's just like talking about like you're still black. Like he will always say like I want to be darker or stuff like that. And it makes me proud that because you don't see that shift in wanting to be darker and things like that. But it's like you are black, you are fine just the way you are smart, you are intelligent. So it's like building them up at their younger age and starting early when because you know how our parents were. We asked them questions and our curiosity came up and it was like, because I said so, or you don't need to know about that yet, or you will find out about that later. It's like having that open dialogue with them and answer. Like you don't have to go into detail and go into depth until they get a little bit older, but
I
start
love y'all
bringing
for
that
that.
knowledge into them early.
I
So that
love y'all for that.
I feel like you can teach a kid early on about those differences, but they will have to learn on their own, like when and how to use it. Just because I feel like I got an overdose of that talk. Just kind of like, okay, just because my grandmother grew up, in an area that was segregated during that period. So they had to walk to school versus the bus coming and pick up, the non-melanated individuals. So when I went to college and stuff, I'm like, okay, grandmother, right? Okay, times has changed. Things are a little different. And, she's still like, well, not necessarily, like, it's not different. So you go to college, you meet friends of all different races, and you think you can do the same things that they can do. But it's just like, if you're at work or something, your coworkers can be there and talking loud in a corner and stuff, but you better not go over there in that corner and start doing the exact same thing, because you'll be made an example. And you have to learn that sometimes the hard way than just being taught, because I was taught my whole life, and I had to learn it at work to be like, okay, I can't do those same things. I can't make those same mistakes that my other counterparts can make.
Because questions weren't an option. Like, I remember as a kid, my dating friends will always talk about the color of me and my sister's eyes in a way that felt uncomfortable. But as a child, you don't know what that uncomfortable feeling is. As you get older, you start putting the pieces together. Them folks was basically saying that my daddy wasn't my daddy.
Right.
Is what they were getting at. Because me and my sister look so different than him. We're not as dark as he are, and our eyes are very, very light. Just taking out the complete equation of science and biology by looking at my damn mama. And all of her family members. Completely ignoring that my damn Uncle Lafayette is dark as night. And his eyes are green, naturally. I mean, dark as the nighttime. Okay? Running through the house looking like Nightcrawler from X-Men. It gives very that, because his eyes are so light. But they completely ignored that. I'm just kind of like, son, so fair skin and his eyes, da 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 da. Then when white people in my life started saying that, they were getting at, oh, you must be mixed with something. You're not fully black. You must have you're a little spicy. So this makes you better in a way. Again, come college.
Does it make you better, or does it make them more comfortable to approach you? Like, take the issue off of black.
That's exactly what it is. It makes them more comfortable.
More comfortable.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Next week on What to Do Rag.
Very
Fuck y'all being comfortable.
For all educators, y'all need to be like Erica Kane. All you educators out there, this is the one. Okay, take note.
Don't
some damn kids some sense.
I have extra meetings if that's what you want. But I'm gonna go to war for my kids. So
yes.
Pick and choose your struggle. Pick your struggle. I don't know.
Teach them. Oh,
sure.
Okay. We really went off into that.
So what time is it? How much time do we have? I don't even know how long.
8:31. So that's just about. We got started late, so just about a little under an hour.
We're running out of time.
Okay, cool. So we got a little.
Yes, we're running out of time right now.
Do we want to hop into our pits?
We can dive into the pits.
All right, now, y'all, we are now for the dive into the pits. Let's get started.
Hey, let us have it.
Right.
Y'all want me to start off?
You've been waiting all night.
Who earned the day on the pit?
I ain't been waiting, but my pit right now is this movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't know if people have seen it. It's on HBO Max. I don't know what I thought it was gonna be. Just a little recap of the movie. It's about the Black Panthers and how another Black guy kind of infiltrates the Black Panthers for the FBI and pretty much like tries to take them down. Like, y'all find this out at the beginning of the movie, so it ain't no spoiler alerts. But it just wasn't thought out what I thought it was gonna be. Like, I'm like, okay, Black Panthers, Black Power. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I feel like I just needed a movie that made me feel like Black Panther made me feel. Like, I'm proud. Like, we here, we doing it. But I didn't get that. Why does it always have to be us in the movie that's taking us down? I don't understand it, and it pissed me off so much, y'all. And I'm just like, why can't we? I understand. I'm all for Black history. I'm all for this, but why can't we make more movies that brings us together like Black Panther did? Why are we taking each other down? Why are we turning on each other? Why? Like, can we stop making these movies? I'm sick of it.
Is it us making the movies, or is it them making the movies and we're taking the jobs?
I feel like that was a Black producer and
Was that
director. I had to look it up, but I'm
Mm,
almost positive.
interesting.
But I mean, it's more of a documentary, and it's more of because it was based off a real life story.
Right.
It's based off of the history of them. But it's like, why are these still our box office movies? I'm tired of seeing us in the struggle. I'm tired of seeing us
12 Years a Slave.
like
Uh,
I'm so over that dynamic. Like, and I had to go watch Coming to America twice, which Coming to America too. Yes, Eddie Murphy did his thing. You know,
I still
I
haven't
had
seen
to
it. I
go
need to
and
go watch that
research.
tonight.
Yes, if you want to feel like Black Panther made you feel for the culture and unapologetically us, that is the movie to see. But that's my pick. Like, can we stop making these movies? I'm sick of it. Can we show us in a different light?
Stop it.
honestly, my opinion,
I'm here for that.
when it comes to our community, they love a good white savior movie like The Help, or 12 Years a Slave, like you said.
No disrespect to those
Yeah, no
actors.
disrespect.
Get your coins, get
Django
your
was a white
check.
savior
Yeah.
movie.
You know,
Right. Lupita got her,
Nyong'o,
you know.
like, yo, did that, all of that. But
But
we are tired of seeing slave movies. We tired of seeing segregation movies. Like when y'all, like you said, E, when we saw the Black Panthers were going to be portrayed on film, we thought we were going to get an actual Black Panther movement experience. I haven't seen the movie yet, but from the way you describe it,
I had to stop watching. Like, I left my husband by himself, and I went and I started cooking in the kitchen. I was like, you know what? Like, it just brought me down. Like, so like it just shifted my whole mood. And I was like, you know what? I just can't even take this movie. I'm done. I'm sick of seeing movies like this.
Probably not gonna waste no time.
It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Right.
the actors and actresses are great. And I mean, if you want to see a great movie, but if you have to be in a good mental space,
Wait, let me ask,
right.
and prepare
Was-
yourself for it.
was it more about Fred Hampton, or was it more about the guy who, the Black FBI agent who?
He wasn't even an FBI agent. A white FBI agent flipped him to infiltrate. Like, so he was supposed to get some jail time for portraying a fake FBI agent. And they just used him to infiltrate them.
So it was more about him.
Well, it was a good story about what's the guy name? The Black Panther. Him
Fred
and
Hampton.
his wife. Yeah, it was a great story about his life. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a great history moment. And it did teach me a lot of things that I didn't know, like about his situation and what was going on. But still, it was just like, it's another Black man taking out another Black man. Why does it
I
happen?
feel you.
It's
And without ruining the ending, it was just like, okay, like, this is just too much. But that's why that's my pick.
Who next?
Like it. I like it.
Put them in the pit.
Oh,
Kim, what you got for us? Come on, Katie.
I don't have nothing today, but I'll make sure I have something for y'all next week.
AKA Kim got something to do after.
Exactly. Like,
Like, wrap it up. Remember that Chappelle show? Wrap
She's ready to
it
go.
up.
oh,
She's ready to go.
That is it. I had got the time about I got that about 3 or 4 times within the last 10 minutes.
Things to
What
do,
you
people to
got?
see.
You got anything, Q?
oh yeah, I got something. To Apple. You know, I'm sick. I'm sick of y'all shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of y'all. Because
What did Apple do to you?
if I lose my phone, and the fact that I lost my phone under my coat on my couch, I know it's my fault, but still, I couldn't find it. I couldn't see it. So I got on my computer, right? And I logged into iCloud. And when I logged into iCloud, it said, oh, we're going to send a message to your device so you can type it in so you can access iCloud on your computer. Well, bitch, how could I access my device if I don't know what my device is? Why are you sending the code to my device if I don't have it? I'm looking for the fucking device. That's why I'm on the computer, bitch. So why are you sending me a code? Why are you sending me a code? I'm trying to get into the
You have the
email.
right
to get the
Apple.
device. Why are you
Read
sending me a
them.
code?
You had to find my iPhone.
That's Erica. I can get this to find my iPhone. I put my hands before God. I try to get in to find my iPhone E. They said, "Oh, we're gonna send you this 6-digit code to your device." The device is lost. So why are you sending the device a code, bitch? I'm right here in front of the computer. I need to get into the account. So Apple, what the fuck is going on?
Read.
Do I need an iPad? Do I need an iPod? I don't even know if y'all make iPods no more. But do I need a fucking iPod?
Read them.
Right. Read Apple.
Okay.
Apple.
Y'all this billion-dollar ass company, y'all done did all this shit. But yet,
What have they done that's new though?
I'm tired. What is
Nothing.
going on?
Make it even harder to log in.
We got Katie back.
We got Katie back.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Nice
still going off about Apple. I'm tired. Like, I don't know who's in charge of them. It ain't Bill Gates, he over Microsoft. But the other dude, Tim, I think his name Tim.
He did.
Tim,
Whoever was over it. Didn't Steve die?
He did.
Steve dead and gone. He in the ground. I ain't talking to him. I'm talking to the other one. Although rich
The
billionaire
lie.
white man in charge of Apple.
The land of the
Get that
living.
shit together. Do not send me another code to my computer when I'm looking for my phone saying that you're gonna send it to my device because my device is lost. That ain't helping me, Tim. It ain't helping.
But are you gonna buy Android?
Look, I want my phone. I don't like to record security camera footage off of my phone because those cameras are horrible and they blow up on planes and shit. And I'm black and I ain't got time for that shit. My phone blew up in my pocket. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a problem.
So your
For
phone is
everybody.
gonna be lost. Your phone gonna be lost.
But get that. We owning everything. Let it happen.
And you know
That
when
part.
it's lost, I try to log into my fucking email through iCloud. It's gonna tell me, "Oh, we're sending it to your device." Well, what device, bitch? What device?
Well, you need to go ahead while you found your phone. Go ahead and like sign in so that it recognizes you, and then you won't have no problems next time. Because I feel like this gonna happen again for you.
Come on with the advice and the read.
It wasn't a read.
It was a church compliment.
It was. It was.
It was a church compliment.
Yes.
I'm gonna just get one of them old school phone holders and just keep that bitch on my side. Is what the fuck I'm gonna do.
No, you're not. Miss Phoenix, what you got?
Oh, Mrs. Do It for the Weekend, and I want to talk to this young lady directly. So about her story. Sis took her her last $400 and drove all the way to Atlanta from New York just for the weekend, and I believe it was her rent money. Used it for gas in the hotel, and she got stuck at All-Star Weekend. Now you have a GoFundMe. What is it? That's what it's called, GoFundMe. And you want people to donate money to you because of your poor decisions. We do not bail people out for poor decisions.
Period.
If you wanted to go twerk on the weekend, for All-Star Weekend, you should have did it at a more affordable place.
He was trying to get her a baller. This was the weekend they was out.
You will be using Ike and Mike to get home. Welcome to the pit, honey.
You said what a hood was that?
Go off. Speaking of that, I'm going to piggyback and dive real deep into the pits because the pandemic is still real, even though people are getting the vaccine. So everybody that was at All-Star Weekend, your ass is in the pits because your ass needed to be fucking home. Y'all ain't had no mask on. Y'all out here in the club. I know y'all live for Trina and Rick Ross, them hoes breathing in each other's mouth. Right. All in the club. It's hot and sweaty.
Just raw dog in the air.
Some of y'all got children and y'all are going back home to pick up your child from your sister Nika house. And now your child come down with the cough and you giving your child copious amounts of Robitussin. This is not it. Y'all, it is still a pandemic going on. If you're going to travel and go somewhere, do that. Just can you be safe? Can you not be on the camera at All-Star Weekend with everybody else, just a sea of people? I ain't taking a precaution. I know Atlanta is wide the fuck open. Okay, but use your sense, baby. Use your common sense.
I want y'all on camera, so I know to stay around you, from around you.
Right, use your common sense. I just don't understand how y'all do it. Y'all hoes need to burn deep down in the pits so the rest of us can get back to some normalcy. It's y'all. It's not us. It's you. Stay your fucking ass at the house. Or travel safely. How everybody that posted that was going to the All-Star Weekend, I just kept being like,
did y'all see the post where the girl got out of the U-Haul van?
Yes, was sleeping in there.
U-Haul van.
Yes, she was staying in a U-Haul for All-Star Weekend. Because the hotels were expensive.
Y'all want to fuck and marry little baby that bad?
That bad?
Girl. These men ain't got no damn money. Who even plays in All-Star Weekend? Well, LeBron is married. Were there any single rich niggas there?
Dusty. Your hair is
Was there any quality niggas even playing at All-Star Weekend? I'm confused. Right. So what was y'all going there to do?
Oh, KD. Ain't KD single? Is KD single? I don't know. KD single.
Ugly ass KD?
Yeah, but you know them bitches don't care. The
one that tried to come for Cash Doll, the only KD I know. I don't follow sports. But that's on a whole nother story.
First of all, let's be clear. When you hear somebody say KD, we going straight to Kevin Durant. Ain't nobody talking about no Cash Doll.
Cash Doll.
He did exactly right, gathering her together. When you
okay. That don't change the fact that he's ugly and patchy. But go on, sis. Is Kevin Durant really out here marrying thoughts? I never heard that about him.
No, he just fucking them. I mean, it's a lot of you married or not that's probably fucking at the All-Star Weekend, but still, if you gotta stay in a fucking van or U-Haul van,
no installation.
A U-Haul van, is it worth it?
That means that trip is not affordable. So
I'm just saying, if I was, just saying, sex work is real. Get your money, honey. If I was a hoe, I don't think Atlanta would be the spot that I would go to try to make money from hoeing.
That's true. I mean, if she had a U-Haul van, I think that would be pretty creative. Because, I mean, you got your spot in the U-Haul van.
Girl, on the move. Creative. Girl, not renting and getting charged overnight fees.
Wop on the move.
If I see you
wop on the move,
the back of a U-Haul van at the club, I'm calling the police, and I never call the police. I'm calling the law on your ass that night.
I'm just saying, y'all.
Listen, they could have been pulling the queen on the day on the move, but they just needed to make a pit stop by the club.
No, they need to be in the pits for having their ass outside during the fucking pandemic at an All-Star Weekend.
If she got her coins, more power to her. If she did it for free, she in the pits. Baby, get your money by any means.
Tweet me and tell me the amount you made. Tweet me and tell me the amount you made, and then I'll decide if you need to be in the pits.
Biden ain't sending no money, so they gotta get it how they living.
Baby,
no money. Shit.
Where is our money, Joe?
She hopping out of a U-Haul.
Part two, Joe. Where's our money? You didn't do it. We're still waiting. My bank account is still empty. Where's my money?
Didn't Joe play the fuck out of us?
We're supposed to be getting this on or whatever.
I think I'm 1,400 short.
What about my student loans though, Joe? Because I heard we was gonna do something about them, but
they dropped from 50 to 10 real quick. He wasn't even 2 days.
They never say 10 or 50.
Joe was always adamant about 10. He didn't never say 50.
He never said 50, but it would have been nice to do that. I mean, you did just.
Joe wasn't born that habit.
I don't
10,
care.
50, 1,000.
We
Doesn't
fumbled
matter.
the Bernie
Everybody
Mac
feel about
twice.
it.
I don't understand.
Quiet. I just kept. I'm gonna be in my grave with the student loans, honey, because they ain't really affecting my credit score anywhere, girl. So they can keep it.
I mean,
Say the
push come
first.
to shove, I'm gonna leave this goddamn country. I ain't paying a goddamn thing.
That part. On that note, this was the pits, everybody. This was our first real episode of the pits. We did a thing. See, we're partying inside in our homes.
That's right.
Utilize y'all
Okay. All right. Who's gonna sign us off? Who's gonna take us out? By the way, guys, we're figuring it out as we go. It just is what it is. So until we get the flow, who's signing off?
Y'all keep getting that vaccine, so I ain't gotta get it. Keep me safe. Do y'all thing. You have
Hey,
been in
I
the
agree.
pit.
Get it.
Peace, everybody. Peace. KD, go do what you gotta do, girl, because I know they waiting. She's in them streets. Yeah. Well,
Stay
let me
safe.
not. Let's bye, girl.
Take that money, don't let it make you.
Right.